Hey all! It was an action-packed month this past month. We had our normal project. We stuffed an emergency project in there. So I wanted to throw a little video out just to kind of recap everything and keep you guys up to date on everything that's been going on. So a couple weeks ago, we rolled out to Turner, Maine. We heard about a couple in their like 60s. A husband has been wrestling through a variety of health issues that aren't getting any better, and it's definitely limiting his capacity and his ability. So that's already a lot for them to deal with. And on top of that, they've been taking care of their granddaughter and in the process of getting custody of her. And on top of that, they live in an older farmhouse that just needs lots of love, and just they're unable to kind of keep up with all the repairs. So there's quite a bit. The biggest is their roof was smoked, already taken on water, and they just doing the best they can. And that's the hurdle they just could not get over, and had no idea what they were going to do. So when we heard about them, we said yes, we'll be there. So we rolled in. We were probably north of 25, 24 guys or so. Probably upper 20s. I don't have a final count yet, but it was a lot of dudes, which was great because we needed them all because there was a lot of work. We had Les Wilson and Son allow us to use one of their dump trucks for removing all the debris, which was great. And so guys showed up, and we just said, all right, fellas, we got a lot of work to do. Let's get to it. Guys started stripping a bunch of the roof, and then because it was an older farmhouse, we couldn't just strip the roof and then re-roof it. We actually had to put plywood and sheathing back on the roof because it was old barn boards with big gaps and things. And so really the proper way to do it was that, but it added more time to the day. So we stripped it, then we started sheathing. We were smart enough to save part. It's a complicated roof line that you guys can probably see in the pictures, but we saved part of the roof and didn't touch it. Said, hey, we'll have to come back for that. Let's bite off enough that we can chew today. We still bit off more than we could chew in one day, though. So 2 o'clock came, 3 o'clock came. Volunteers were going strong. 4 o'clock came. A lot of volunteers stayed around to try to get it done. But honestly, at 4 o'clock, we weren't close to being done. I talked to some guys and say, is there any other way to kind of like temporarily make this watertight so we can come back next month and finish it? And we looked at it, and we had the chimney right there all exposed, and we said there's really no way to do that other than just roof it. So we dug down deep, and we had a strong core of a group of volunteers that stayed around to the bitter end. And there we were at 7:30 at night on top of the roof, slowly losing our minds. Our music had gone from motivating and good music to Disney and Veggie Tales, and our minds are just slowly turning to mush, and we were having a good time, which is great. This is how you make stories that are rememberable. But just it was late. It was getting pretty late. So we finished up that back part of the roof, cleaned up real fast, packed up, and took out of there at probably 8 o'clock at night, just as it was getting dark. So it was a long, full day, but we had a huge turnout, which was great. And then it's one of those projects that will go down as famous amongst the guys that were there. To be like, remember that day we were on that roof almost till 8 o'clock trying to get it done. So that's where the bonding comes in with what we're doing with these other guys. So that was Turner. We're going to be back next month to finish it up. So stay tuned on that. And then we had an emergency project. We heard about a lady in her 60s. Already living in kind of a smaller home that was kind of originally designed to be like a 3 seasons camp that got turned into a 4 seasons home, kind of, sort of. And her son had just recently passed away, who was living there as well with her, kind of tragically. And that left her with her granddaughter that now she has custody of, that's living there with her as well. And we heard about them through a loan officer who was trying to work with them because their house was going to foreclose. And so they were under the gun to try to find solutions. Otherwise, the bank was going to take their home, which on top of everything else, it's just a lot for them. They were already kind of, doing the best they could. And so this wonderful guy was able to find a solution as far as loans go, but they had to appraise the home to get the loan. And they did the appraisal. They had flagged some things and say, hey, unless you can fix these things, we can't give you the loan. So then the loan officer was stuck, didn't know what to do. He found us somehow. I don't know how he found us, but he did. He said, hey, please, can you help us? We really need your help. And so we rolled out with only a small group of guys, which actually turned out to be great because there wasn't a lot of space in there. Only problem was it was pouring out. So I was able to get there actually a day before with a volunteer to help kind of do some work preliminary, which was a huge help. Thanks. I know who you know who you are. Thank you. And then we rolled in on Saturday. That's when it was pouring buckets. So we had to move a bunch of stuff outside. We had like Tent City. We had pop-up tents all over the place trying to store some of her stuff so it wouldn't get wet, so we could have cut stations. And it was also kind of like playing Tetris inside, trying to move things to one room because we had to do all the floors, or most of the floors, 90% of them. And so we had to kind of stuff things in one room so we could get things and slide things over and get creative. Small spaces, but we were able to get a bunch of roofing down. We had to do some insulating, and then we went back Tuesday. And we had to paint the whole outside of the camp, so or the home. So, but we cranked it all out, and I talked to the loan officer afterwards, and said, "Hey, I think we're done. Let me know if you need anything else, but I think we got it." And so he was super pumped because he's been working so hard to help this lady out to keep her in her home. So, huge thanks to him for having a heart of gold, and we're also just thankful that we could show up for these folks. So we're waiting for the final word back from the bank and all that, but we're pretty sure we're in the clear, and we were able to keep these folks in their home, which is such a big deal for them. So that's what this last couple weeks has looked like. It's been kind of action packed, but it's been good. A lot of smiles, some new faces, lots of stories, which is great. Everything from staying on top of a roof till too late in the night. We had some guys crawling underneath this home in the mud and the pouring rain. Those guys are champs. They know who they are too. So it was just good. There's a lot going on, but a lot of good out of it. So stay tuned next month. We'll hopefully be finishing that roof up in Turner. Thank you again for all you who help support us, whether that's through prayer, whether that's financially, whatever. You're a big help to really making this whole thing happen and just building this little community of people that care about keeping people in their homes and making better men. So stay tuned till next time.